Steinemark Castle, or Burg Steinemark, which is this set's original German name, is a set by Klemmbausteinwelt. I guess this name looks rather intimidating for non-native German speakers, but it simply translates to building blocks world or self-interlocking construction blocks world, whatever you want to call our beloved bricks. This set consists of 905 pieces, which are compatible to pieces by other building blocks companies like Lego, Kobe, Mega, and so on. As far as I know, this set predominantly consists of Woma bricks, but there are also some pieces by other companies. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to assemble this build because so far I haven't done anything with Woma bricks before. The set here is a very special set. It's a crowd-funded set. And yeah, it was initiated by Olli from Klemmbausteinwelt, which is Olli's YouTube channel. He is a German construction blocks fan and YouTuber. He produced the set in cooperation with Reptim Bricks and Grundstein. Reptim Bricks is Sebastian's company. And Sebastian isn't an unknown figure in the German construction blocks world either. He and his company, they help to bring such sets into life. They know how you have to produce such sets and what you should pay attention. For example, they know which pieces exactly are still protected by the Lego company and which pieces you can use alternatively and so on. And of course, he knows about all the legal stuff which you have to pay attention to when producing and importing such sets from China to Europe. And Grundstein, that's Felix, who is, a mocker who is, I guess, most known for his huge modular cathedral. If you are familiar with Rebrickable, I think it might be quite possible that you already stumbled upon his cathedral mock. Well, as I said before, this set was crowdfunded. If I remember correctly, then I supported the set in January 2025 with 60 euros. And now we got August, it's the end of August of the same year, and I finally got, the final set, the final product. As far as I know, they produced 2,000 of these sets, and about 1,400 of those sets went to supporters. So there are 600 sets left, which means you can still buy those sets. At least at the moment of recording this video, the sets aren't sold out. And you can get a set for about 60 euros. Well, the set here was built with, designed with some very cool construction techniques. And I guess this is why they sell these sets for experts. So they say you should be at least 14 years old, and it's definitely not a set for small children. As you can see, we got a cool box. We do not only get to see the completed computer-rendered image of the completed build on the box cover, but also, a neatly designed box. We get to see some landscape in the background. It looks quite colorful. This is neat. On this side of the box we get to see the dimensions of the completed build. It's going to be 12.8 by 14.7 by 19.2 centimeters. And yeah, here on the top we get to see a cute little coat of arms. On the back side of the box we get to see the completed build from different angles. And down here we get to see several QR codes which lead to the web pages of all those guys which were participating to bring this set into life, which were cooperating to create the set. When we have a look at this side of the box, at the edge here, you can see that there are 3 seals. And these 2 seals here are cut. The tapes are cut. And this has a special reason. Olli opened the boxes and put some giveaways inside the boxes for all the crowdfunding funding supporters. And yeah, after he placed those little gifts inside the boxes, he had to reseal them, and this is why we got this piece of tape up here. So these are the original seals and this is Olli's seal. But I think now it's time to also cut this seal and have a look inside this neat box. When you have opened the box, you find on the box's inside this printed scroll here with a fun little text written in pseudo-medieval German, which, yeah, tells a little story how Olli, Sebastian and Felix created this set. And on this side here we find all the bricks and also our little free gifts. So first of all, we got here this little trebuchet. It consists of 39 pieces. I think it's not only a gift for supporters, you can also buy this little trebuchet when you are not a supporter. Then over here, this is a kitty craft minifigure, and it represents Olli. And over here we have a tile which says 334 and 1381. I guess this means that I am supporter 334 out of 1381 supporters. And this bag here also comes with a sticker which says that we should replace this piece with another piece which appears in building step 141. So yeah, I guess this means we replace a golden tile with this individual tile. Let's have a look. I think I can see the other tile here. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this is a standard tile, so if you are not a supporter, you will simply get this tile. And I, as a supporter, am able to replace the tile with this individual tile here. Alright, then we got all the bags with the pieces inside. And the bags are pretty neat. Have a look here. They come with building blocks printed on them. That's cool. The bags have numbers on them, but I think those numbers have no meaning for us. There are no building sections in the set, but yeah, I don't think that building sections are really necessary with only a piece count of 905. I will open all the bags and empty them on the table. There is no need to pre-sort all the pieces before you start with the construction, because this amount of pieces should be still handleable without any problems. Okay, then here we also got the building instructions. As far as I know, they are only printed instructions, but I think that's okay. The instructions start with this inventory list. And then everything starts with step 1. I think it's quite cool that at the back side of the instructions we also get to know the name of the graphics designer, Leonie Faller. I guess she is responsible for the cool background design of this box. Alright, then I think it's time to open the bags, and after that I will start with step 1. I will come back to you as soon as I see something interesting, or maybe something simply doesn't work as shown in the instructions. Step 2. We are using a bunch of pieces for which there are no equivalents in the LEGO universe. Have a look. For example, we get these 1x1 plates with open stud. And then we also get these 2x3 wedges without any studs. Step 9. In this step we are using more pieces which, for example, the LEGO company doesn't use. 1x1 plates with stud to the side. Those pieces are used by a lot of alternative building blocks companies, but I have to admit that I really don't like these pieces. I think they just look ugly. But in this particular case here, I have no problem with using them, because have a look at what we are doing. We are building a brick modified with 2 studs to the side. This is a piece which still is protected by the LEGO company, and so Olli and his team couldn't use this piece, but they circumvented by simply recreating the piece with these 2 plate modifieds. When we are doing this here, we have recreated the piece without using any protected pieces. Step 11. The colors in the instructions are a bit problematic. Have a look here at these pieces. I thought they are supposed to be in reddish brown, but this can't be the case, because I do not have any 1x4 plate in the set in reddish brown. I have a 1x2 plate, but I can't find anywhere a 1x4 plate. But what we have got is a 1x4 plate in salmon. And we also got all the other needed pieces in that color in salmon. So this is reddish. This isn't reddish brown. I guess reddish brown is displayed way darker in the instructions. I just had a quick look at a later step of the instructions, it's step 179, but this doesn't really matter right now. But in this step we can see all the problematic colors in one single image. So this here is the color which I had problems with. This is salmon. And over here you can see a piece in reddish brown, and this is dark brown. I think it's a bit worse visible on the camera than reality. when we get these pieces here next to each other, reddish brown and dark brown, they are easier to distinguish in reality than it is visible on camera. But nevertheless, you really have to pay attention not to mix up the colors. Step 25. I think now we can see that those pieces here which a Lego company doesn't use aren't only used to replace pieces which are still protected by the Lego company, but they are also used for special building techniques which you would not be able to do with only Lego pieces. And I have to say I'm not a fan of this. I'm in general not a fan of special pieces. I don't like it when the Lego company introduces new pieces, and so I definitely don't like it when other companies do it. And I don't know. I think I can live with those pieces when they are simply used to reproduce a piece which is still protected by the Lego company, like it was done with this brick modified with the two stats to the side, like here. But I definitely don't like it when we use those pieces in such a way that we would not be able to reproduce this construction with only Lego pieces. I guess this is simply an individual problem by me. Other people might not have these kind of problems, but I don't like this. Step 30. Here is another piece which the Lego company doesn't use. It's a 1x2 plate with two stats to the side. Step 40. Does the Lego company produce 2x2 corner masonry bricks? I don't think so. I have seen this piece in a lot of sets by other companies, but I don't think that I have ever seen this piece in a Lego set. So I guess this is another special piece. Step 66. I think I already showed you this plate here, a 1x2 plate modified with studs attached to the side. And as you can see, the upper end of the studs have a higher precision than the plate itself. It's a special piece which the Lego company doesn't use. But now in this step we are using this piece here. It's quite similar to this one, but in this case the studs are attached to the side in such a way that the lower end of those studs is way lower than the plate itself. And once again, this is a piece which, for example, the Lego company doesn't use. Step 83. We have completed the hill on which later the castle will sit on. And we also have completed the path which leads up to that castle. And so far the build looks quite interesting. We have used a lot of crazy snot techniques, and we worked with a lot of hinge plates to achieve this kind of rock formations. I think this looks very interesting. It's very much fun to build this set, but it also takes a lot of time. There aren't that many pieces, and you can see that the build is quite tiny, but till reaching step 80, I have spent several hours so far, I think. Let's go on with building the castle itself. Step 88. In this step we are using another special piece, and I think I haven't seen this piece before. It's completely new to me. Interesting. Step 100. Since we have reached about half time, I think now is a good opportunity to talk about the pieces. These Woma bricks work totally fine. There is no problem with the clutch power at all. You can interlock them perfectly. I would say the clutch power is even a bit bigger than we are used to from other companies, but it's always good to have a bit too much clutch power than too less. The colors of those pieces are fine too, so you can see all the light bluish gray pieces, for example, come in the same shade of gray, so we don't get any strange differences in the colors. That's great. The only thing I would complain a bit about these pieces is that they come with quite huge injection holes. Have a look here at these little craters. They are not as huge as, for example, the craters on Qingbao pieces, but nevertheless, those are really injection holes and not only injection marks. How we see them, for example, on Go Bricks pieces. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of these injection holes, but other than that, I'm absolutely happy with the pieces. Step 105. I think this 1x2 round plate here is another piece which we can't find in any Lego sets. The Lego company uses a piece which is quite similar to this piece here, but that piece comes with open studs and our piece here does have closed studs. Step 117. In this step we use yet another piece which I haven't seen before. It's a special piece which the Lego company, for example, doesn't use. It's this corner slope here, but you can see that it has got a strange size. It's a bit bigger than a normal 1x1 plate. Step 141. This is the step in which we are supposed to place this crowdfunding supporter tile. It says step 141, but when we have a look at the step, we can't find a golden tile here. Normally, the set doesn't come with this tile. We only got it because we were crowdfunding supporters. But this tile here actually belongs to the set. It's the same tile, only without the supporter number. But there isn't any golden tile mentioned in the step. And when we have a look at the inventory list of the set, there we can't find the golden tile either. Very strange. Well, I guess instead of this brown tile here, maybe we could place the golden tile, but I'm not going to do this. I'm going to place the brown tile. This is the wooden floor of the upper part here of this tower. And when we have a look at the next steps, there we can see that we place the roof on the tower. It's interlocked, so it isn't meant to be opened. So you might think, it's just a little Easter egg. We can't really see the floor, and because of that we can use the golden tile. But when we have a closer look, we can see that the tower has windows just below the roof. And when we look through those windows, I want to see a brown wooden floor and not something in gold. Well, it's nice to have these pieces here, but I think I'm not going to use them. Step 143. Once again, we stumble upon a piece which the Lego company doesn't use. This 1x1 brick modified here, which comes with a stud on one side, but also with a hole. We use this piece to circumvent using a protected Lego piece. We want to have a 1x1 brick modified with 2 studs on the side like this. And yeah, with the help of a pin, we can simply recreate such a piece. Et voila! Step 147. What a strange piece! I don't think that I have ever seen such a grill or tile modified or whatever you want to call this. I doubt that the Lego company uses such a piece. This must be one of those special pieces. Step 161. In this step we are building a gate with its portcullis, and I really like the building techniques used in this step. So we get these 3 pieces here. The gate itself, when we have a closer look you can see that it is a door, and it's even a printed door. That's quite cool. At least on one side it is printed. Then we got this part here which mounts the door. And this, I think normally it's a window, but in our case we use it as a portcullis. So first of all we interlock these 2 pieces here. Come on, get in there. Like this. And now we place the window part on the other side. And this is our gate with the portcullis. That's cool. Great. Step 167. We are using another piece which isn't part of the Lego world. It's a 1x2 slope with 2 studs. Step 189. In this step we are using a building technique which the Lego company doesn't use. But this time we are using non-standard pieces which I actually like quite much. It's a single stud, only stud, hollow stud, whatever you want to call it. I think some people call it Kobe stud. I guess Kobe is the company which introduced those pieces. And, well, these pieces are used to reverse the building direction. You can see we got here this bar, which we use as a tool. We stick it in the hollow stud. And then we place the hollow stud on the underside of this plate modified here, or tile modified. I think it's a plate modified. And yeah, we place it there, push down the stud and remove the tool. And with that, we have turned anti-studs into regular studs. And that way it is now no problem to interlock pieces on the underside of this plate. For example, a tile, which normally wouldn't be possible. Just like this. Step 202. We have completed the build. But before we are having a closer look, I'm going to build the Trebuchet before, and I'm also going to open the back with the minifigure. Oh, by the way, I just noticed that on the back side of the instructions there is something strange with the product numbers. So product number 11045, that's the Trebuchet, that's correct. But then it says that the minifigure has product number 11047. But this is wrong, because the minifigure is a kitty craft product, and so it has its own product number, which is KC1421. Maybe Klemmbausteinwelt. Maybe Olli uses his own product numbers, but this 11047 is the product number of the castle itself. Well, it doesn't matter at all, I guess. Oh, and have a look here. Here's a little tip how we could present our castle. For that, we are supposed to open the box and then place it behind the castle. Cute. Well, I think I will continue with the trebuchet. Yeah, let me open this little box, which contains 39 pieces. Well, I think it's not surprising that this box contains only a single bag with the pieces and this folded sheet of paper which contains the building instructions. But it even has got an inventory list. That's cool. Alright, then let's start. In the first step we already use a non-standard piece. It's some kind of tile with studs on the other side, but it's way thinner than a normal tile. You know, a tile has the same width as a plate, but here you can see that the piece we are using here is way thinner than a normal plate. Step 2. The pieces we see in this box here are displayed a little bit unfortunate. So first of all, it's of course not so easy to see because of the dark brown color, but when we look closely, we can see that this piece here is a 1x1 plate with a stud on one side, you know, one of those special pieces. But the second piece isn't clearly visible. It looks like it is another of those 1x1 pieces, but this time the stud isn't attached to the plate in such a way that the upper part of the stud is above the plate, but the lower part is supposed to be below the plate, like seen here. The thing is that this little set doesn't come with only such a piece. We get these pieces here, which have studs on both sides. And I guess this is the correct piece to use there, but it's definitely not visible up here. And yeah, maybe we can see the second stud down here very lightly, but if the set wasn't that tiny, I would have searched quite a while for the piece until realizing that it is a plate with two studs. Step 7. This little set does come with another bar than shown in the instructions. Have a look. Here we got the bar, and this is the bar as seen in the instructions. Here is a little thicker part, which is missing here. Step 9. We have completed the trebuchet. That's cool. Alright, then last but not least, let's have a look inside this bag. By the way, I think it's a bit unfortunate how this QR code is placed on this bag. It contains a link which leads to Olli's YouTube channel, but it's not so easy to scan this code with your smartphone. My smartphone always detects the barcode down here, so I had to put something on it. But it wasn't also easy to scan the QR code up here because you can see the bag isn't plain when it's filled with the minifigure. And yeah, I really had to stretch the whole thing a bit until I was able to scan the code, and this took quite a moment. But once again, this isn't really anything needed, so I simply don't care about this. Let's open the bag. Alrighty, inside the bag we find a folded piece of paper which contains the instructions for the minifigure on one side, and on the other side we get some QR codes which lead to the KittyCraft website, and also a QR code which leads to Torsten's YouTube channel. Torsten, that's the founder of the KittyCraft brand, or the guy who brought the name KittyCraft back to life. You know, KittyCraft, that's the company which originally invented our beloved building blocks before Lego took the idea and turned it into what it is today. Oh, and then of course we got the bag with the minifigure pieces. I'll be right back. I think it won't take long to assemble the minifigure. So, I have assembled the little Olli, and yeah, it's a cute minifigure with a huge bubble head. The KittyCraft minifigures are shaped in this very special way to, simply to avoid getting into trouble with the Lego company. Lego's minifigure is protected, and because of that you really don't want to create a minifigure which remotely looks similar to a Lego minifigure. And yeah, simply because of this we got this, really, I don't know, real life shaped torso and these more rounded arms, and also the huge bubble head. We can move the legs, we can move the arms, and also the hands, and also the head, of course. I think it's quite funny that this minifigure comes with a brain. Have a look, we can open the head, and there we see a little pink brain, a 1x1 round plate. Alright, I think it's quite cool that we got this minifigure, but I am not a really big fan of these minifigures. I only like Lego minifigures for some reason, and I'm not interested in any other minifigures at all. But that's simply a me problem. The minifigures here are well done. The prints are really well done, and it works totally fine. I simply don't like the looks of these minifigures so much. But I'm not that interested in minifigures in general, so I think it's a cool idea that we got this little goodie, but I have no need for it. The next goodie is a bit cooler, at least in my eyes. I really like this little trebuchet. So I guess it works like this. It's a tiny build, so there isn't much to say about it, but it looks quite cool. By the way, this single part was left over in the minifigure bag. These are the leftover pieces of the trebuchet, and all of these pieces were left over from our tiny castle. Oh, and of course also the two tiles here. The printed tile, I didn't know where to place it, and the tile which I got because of me being a crowdfunding supporter. And then, I think I didn't show you this before, the set also included a brick separator. That's quite cool. But now, let's get to the castle. Doesn't it look cool? It's really a tiny castle, and I expected it to be way bigger. I mean, there are almost 1,000 pieces, or 900 pieces, that's enough. But those are 900 tiny pieces. But the result is so detailed, and it took me quite long to assemble only 900 pieces. I was really impressed with this build. Here in the front, we got this little plaque, which consists of 2 printed tiles, and the prints are really well made. And yeah, then we got this tiny castle, which sits on a hill. Steinemark Castle. So, we enter the castle via this path here through the gate. Through the gatehouse. And have a look at all these details. We got here this part of the wall. You can see this slope here, which is, yeah, really attached there. I mean, this is a detail you really do not have to place there, but when you have placed it, it looks way cooler, like a real castle. You can't simply run through a gate and enter a castle because you want to be safe. When enemies enter the castle through the gatehouse, you want them to, take a lot of time, so everything is a bit winding. And yeah, I guess that way they also have problems fighting you. Alright, we have entered the castle, and then you can see that the path continues all with this salmon color. And yeah, here in the corner, I'm not quite sure what this is. Maybe a little chapel? I don't know. There is, a little tree or something like that. Then here is the main building. It got its door down here. There's even a little roof above that door. And then here is, I don't know, are those steps, or maybe it's a ladder which leads up to this door here, through which we can enter the dungeon. Next to it there is, I guess it's a coop. And in front of that we got a little well. And here in the corner there is another door which leads to this tiny tower here. And have a look at all those windows. Those are so cool details. And I forgot how you call these things, but I think they are used to throw things on your enemies when they are somewhere down here. Maybe you can spill them with hot oil or something like that. And at the same time, they can't attack you because you are protected by these wooden things here. We got a little flag on top of the dungeon. And if it wasn't that dark, we could have a look inside the dungeon via those windows there. And yeah, the same down here. Then we got several trees on the hill or in the valley, I don't know. And the castle itself sits on those really cool rocks. There went some quite interesting building techniques into this build. It was very much fun to assemble, and yeah, it looks very interesting, but getting there is also very, very impressive. You do some clever stuff to get all the rocks into this special shape. Assembling the set wasn't difficult, but it took some time. You can see it's a tiny set, but it consists of 900 pieces, and this means those were all very tiny pieces, or at least a lot of them were quite tiny. And assembling a lot of tiny pieces always takes its time. But on the other hand, this gives us so many details. Have a look at this. This looks amazing. The bricks we used for this set did the job totally fine. There is no problem with the clutch power at all. Maybe sometimes the clutch power is a bit too much, but I guess it's better to have a bit too much clutch power than to have not enough clutch power. Everything you interlock with each other just keeps together, and that's the most important part. Having a bit too much clutch power might hurt your fingers after a while, but this is something you can soldier through. The set isn't that big, so your fingers should survive 900 pieces. What I do not like so much about the bricks is that they come with quite huge injection holes. We have seen bricks by other companies in some of my other videos which have way bigger injection holes, but those injection holes aren't the best on the market either. I prefer, simply injection marks. I do not like to see those holes. And I also don't like so much that we got that many special pieces. I prefer building with standard pieces, and normally I do not like special pieces at all, but I guess this is just a me problem. Other people do not have any problems at all with those special molds. It's a reason why I do not build Kobe sets so much. I simply don't like it when we get so many special pieces for every set, but I think in this case I can totally work with it. Many of those pieces were simply used to circumvent protected Lego pieces. We just used them to recreate Lego pieces, and that's totally fine then, I guess. And I guess most people do not have this problem at all. They don't really care if it's only standard pieces, so that we could find everything like shown here on Reprickable or Pricklink. And if you don't care about this at all, then you shouldn't have a reason why you do not want to have the set. It looks so amazing. Have a look at all those details. It's such a detailed set, and it was so much fun assembling. It started with opening the box. The box is so detailed. We got this great design, we got a cool text, which of course only benefits you if you speak German, but nevertheless the box looks cool, the set looks cool, the whole build is just amazing. I really like the set, and I hope that the guys behind the set start some more of those projects.